This is the murder of Javion Magee. Javion Malik Magee was born on October 5, 2002 in Boardview, Illinois. Javion Magee was much like any other young man trying to find his footing in this world at 21 years old. Little did he know that his life would be cut short way before it was supposed to. At 1 a.m. on September 10, 2024, Javion, a truck driver, had picked up a load of goods from Pennsylvania to deliver to the Walmart distribution center in Anderson, North Carolina. After he arrived and unloaded the shipment in North Carolina, he was seen on the video making a number of stops in the following hours. After around 6 p.m. that evening, he traveled to a Walmart center in North Cooper Drive in Anderson and was seen on surveillance camera walking into the store and purchasing a rope. The footage showed Magee leaving the store and his subsequent exchange with the man he handed his money to. After that, Magee entered a Hampton Hill hotel in town, speaking to a front desk clerk before his truck is seen leaving the parking lot less than 10 minutes later. By 6:45 p.m., his vehicle pulled into a dirt lot and the ignition was turned off. Surveillance video showed him exiting the vehicle and walking alone towards the woods with an object in his hands. While he returned to the truck multiple times, the ignition was tuned off one final time at 7:30 p.m. and never started again, police said. Javion Magee is seen walking away from his truck towards the tree and video does not show him returning. At 10:08 a.m. on September 11, 2024, police said a 911 call from the owner of a truck repair company reported a man with a rope around his neck outside a fence at 285 Van Cole Mill Road. The caller said the man was not breathing. When detectives arrived, they found Javion Magee with a rope wrapped tightly around his neck. The other end of the rope was wrapped around a tree branch. Police said the North Carolina Chief Medical Examiner office found no defensive wound and said there were no signs of physical or sexual assault. Javion did have hemorrhaging around the soft tissue of his neck. Toxicology results are still pending, therefore autopsy results are not completed at this time, the department stated when the incident first occurred. The rope was branded Ozark Trail, which is sold at Walmart and was the same rope Javion Magee was seen purchasing the night before. Police said the man who found Javion's body had been called to the scene by Magee's employee, who reached out requesting a check on their driver because the truck had not moved in some time. According to KLLM Trucking, where Javion Magee worked, who is from Aurora, Illinois, he recently obtained his commercial driver's license earlier in 2024. Javion Magee wallet and cell phones were both found in his truck by police, the department stated at the time. We have been able to see some of the recent searches from Javion's phone and are working through proper legal authorities to obtain more information in hopes of having a complete picture of what occurred before Javion's body was found on the morning of September 11, 2024. The sheriff's office stated, as news of Javion Magee's death reached his family, they immediately started to speak out and voice their opinion in the circumstances that Magee was found dead. They knew for sure that Magee would not kill himself, and this was just not a murder-suicide. Instead, it was deliberately done to him by someone. Javion's mother shared that he had no history of mental illness in the past or criminal activity. He was hung, she stated. It was no way that he could have done that to himself. She explained, I personally stand by what Javion Magee's mother stated, that he was hung. There's been a long history of this kind of behavior towards young black men, and they mysteriously being labeled as suicide, when obviously it is not. To this day in America, there's a lot of sundown towns where black men are targeted and are preyed animals when it hit midnight. And I believe something similar to this happened to Javion Magee. I think it was just very lazy to say that this young man had taken his life without ever having any kind of mental issue or a reason to do so, or he was stuck in some kind of position that he feel like he couldn't get out of. More than looking at the facts that a lot of people do not want to face, that maybe it's because of his color or his physical characteristic, why he was targeted, why someone might want to delete him from this earth. Sheriff Brain said that he's not gonna make a final statement saying that it's suicide yet, but that he was leading towards that. He stated there's been information put out there that there is a lynching. There is not a lynching. The young man was not dangling from a tree. He was not swinging from a tree. The rope was wrapped around his neck. It was not a noose. There was not a knot in the rope. So therefore it was not a lynching here in Vance County, stated Sheriff Brain. Magee cause of death is still to be determined. Brain is leading towards a suicide. Others believe his death was caused by a hate crime. I will leave it at this last statement. When it comes to men of color, particularly black men, we could never ever just look at an incident like this and say that it is just suicide. Not with the history of this country and what they have done to those men. My prayers and condolences goes out to Javion Magee family. May they find some kind of peace and solace, and hopefully one day they'll truly find out what happened to this young man, that life that was cut short. Until next time on the Meaningful Talk Crime Doc, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch up with you guys later in the comment section.